starting up another new project here. This one is a plaque, pretty basic. You can see just kind of the cross design and then some words over here. So to start out, I'll just be working on the cross design here. Since it's all straight lines, I'll be using my kind of bigger bodied knife, which just helps get straight lines. So these are all just pretty shallow, simple two-sided chips basically to carve this outline. And because I'm not going to be carving anything on the inside here, it's just this thin line. If I do undercut or drive the knife too deep a little bit, that won't really be a problem. I don't necessarily want to, but it's not really something I have to worry too much about. Last cut for the outline here. Now I can come back and remove each of those chips with the inside cut. Straight lines are kind of unexpectedly difficult, especially for a beginning chip carver. These aren't particularly long. Some of these obviously are a bit longer, but it's one of those things that you'd kind of expect would be one of the easier things to start with, but just getting that knife control and kind of confidence of directing the knife through the wood, and especially with the different grain directions, can take some time to get used to and develop even the skill just to carve simple straight lines like this. Okay, now for the more interesting part, and even though the inside of this, so this droplet here, I'm going to leave uncut, and I'll just remove all this area around it, and the inside of that is curved, obviously that droplet shape, but the outside cuts that I'm doing here are straight, so I'm going to continue to use this same knife for these cuts. So as you can see, these are significantly larger chips, so I'm not too surprised for that first one to not have come out. And I'm not ready to take the whole chip out yet, but I do want to get this main piece out of the way so I can make some room for the knife inside here, as well as kind of just see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of these, being careful not to cut the inside surface of this wood that I want preserved. So I can pop these out. I need to be careful on this one with this point. It's going to be a fine ridge that comes in, and it's going to be all the way to here is where I'm going to have a fine kind of fragile ridge. So I don't want to remove any more wood than to right here. So I'll go ahead and kind of draw that line, pop just that part out for now. Okay, so now I will grab my thinner knife with a less thick blade to allow maneuvering around this tight shape a little bit better. So I'm going to start right here kind of with this along the grain direction, because that's going to want to kind of run ahead of the knife and tear the grain rather than be cut. So I'm going to start here and come away from it this direction, and then probably move away from it in that direction too to help prevent that grain doing what I don't want it to do. So there you can see a little bit of that happening, but I don't really care about that particular part of wood. I'll come with that same section, drive the knife down, and then come along the other direction. This is a pretty unusual shape here that I'm trying to cut out, kind of mixing the straight lines and the curved lines and the internal. So a little bit of a trick to make sure everything lines up and comes out cleanly. Don't want any rough spots, don't want any grain tearing out. Trying to clean up this surface here, make it a little bit smoother and kind of a smooth curve following around. That's that section. And then